It's official. PHLY has opened up the practice window for a nice cold one, baby. Coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast on a Thursday afternoon. We are 10 days away from the Super Bowl, and the Eagles are in it. And guess what? We're presented by the good folks at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Zach, we finally get to talk to the Eagles today, but not yet. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. In an hour and a half, we will be on the practice field. Actually, an hour and 25 minutes, I believe, we'll be on the practice field. Actually, on the stadium field. They're practicing at the Link today. We'll be able to see Brandon Graham out there at practice.
Hold on, we'll get to that.
Okay.
That's the locker room report.
Okay. So how am I doing? I'm excited. They clinched the spot in the Super Bowl on Sunday. I've been waiting 4 days to see them on the football field. So eager to be out there. So today is an exciting day. It's been a busy 72 hours just planning logistics, but now we get to focus on
How'd those logistics coming? You got everything buttoned up?
I prefer the work, right? Like I'm more of a in the field guy than like in the office guy, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Oh, all right.
No, I just mean
this is no desk jockey over here. This is a man who wants to be out where the action is.
Yeah, I like to report. I like to focus on that part of the job. So eager to do that.
All right, well, let's get to the locker room report presented by our friends at Valley Forge. ValleyForge.org can help you discover hidden gems, endless activities, and tons of places to stay in Montco. Get started planning that next getaway today. ValleyForge.org. Make it family time and make it Montco. And Zach, you've already spilled the beans. We've got some big Eagles news.
Yes, Brandon Graham, his 21-day practice window has opened. Now, the 21-day part of it doesn't matter.
It'd be funny if they activated him 2 weeks after the Super Bowl,
The practice window part of it matters. As we said, today's the first day. So Brandon Graham's back the first day. This was always going to be the biggest indicator, more so than quotes or reports or things like that. It was going to be, does he return to practice the day he's able to? And the fact that he's going to have a full week of practice here, he'll have a full week of practice in New Orleans. It certainly looks like Brandon Graham will be back for the Super Bowl. Also a
little chest puff here. I mean, you're the one who made us aware of this possibility about a month ago.
No, there have been whispers behind the scenes. A lot of people, a number of people have heard this.
This was a scoopy.
But no, this is something that it's interesting. When the injury occurred 10 weeks ago now, 11 weeks from the Super Bowl, it was talked about by Brandon, like the season's over. He said they need to go in for him. And then by early December or by mid-December, you heard, well, if they make the Super Bowl, there's a chance this could happen. I do think he felt good about the progress. He's said as much too on his radio show. And so now this appears to be a reality. The Eagles did their job, and now Brandon Graham is in line to be in there.
Oh, I see. The Eagles did their job by winning to get there.
Yeah. The only way this was going to be possible was if the Eagles got to this point.
Yes, and if you have not seen it yet, go back to Monday's show and see the conversation we had with a doctor from Rothman who gave us a very good breakdown of what all goes into this rehab for Brandon Graham and just how sort of superhuman it would be.
Yep. Make sure you check that out. Bo or the PHLY Eagles account tweeted that out.
How dare you?
And then also CJ Uzomah, the Eagles opened up his practice window. So this is
why you think?
It could be him or EJ Jenkins, right? They'll decide which one they want.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What?
If they're gonna bring CJ Uzomah to the Super Bowl instead of EJ Jenkins after all EJ Jenkins has done for them, they deserve to lose.
Okay. And then the other piece of news, and this is a big one for you.
Yes.
Is Lou Nichols brought back to the practice squad.
Lulu.
And Nick Muse was sent packing. So Nick Muse does not get the trip to New Orleans.
Well, he might still get to make the trip in case they continue to do some shuffling.
So how would that work? They would just, they'd just get him a hotel room and hang out.
They can afford it. I don't know.
And then
listen, this is big news because EJ Jenkins as the rightful champion of the Bo Wulf Camp Crush this year. We know that he will be there. We know that one of the runner-ups, Thomas Booker, will be there as well. And now for the other runner-up, Lou Nichols, to be there. This is very, very good news.
Yeah, leave it to you to cover all the bases, like in your Camp Crush. That was I saw one.
EJ Jenkins was the official EJ Camp Crush. That was decided. I
saw one in the comments from Tuesday's show, which was like so. Bo picked the AJ Brown trade, the Jalen Carter pick, in every free agent and trade that happened since 2021 with his first pick.
Yeah, I explained it. I actually believe that was a totally reasonable thing to do. We're talking about the things that Howie did, and you can't disentangle those two separate first-round picks because having the three allowed them to trade one for the future.
I know. But this is my way of saying I read and appreciate all your comments, and make sure you keep commenting, rating, reviewing, whether it's Apple reviews, whether it's in the Discord, whether it's on message boards, wherever you want to talk about our show.
Scribbled in bathroom stalls.
I am eager to hear about it and find out about it and learn about it.
Okay, well then why don't you listen to the advice that one of those commenters said and plug your book.
Yeah, so the book is up there, the franchise. And I actually think it is helpful reading for this week. There's a lot of stuff in there on Andy Reid and the way that ended, and some of the things with Howie Roseman's roster building and Jeffrey Lurie's own stuff that I imagine the national types will be talking about during the next week. You can find that all in that book, and I actually thought Jeffrey Lurie had some real insightful comments when I spoke to him the summer of 2023 that are still relevant here for going into the Super Bowl. The one thing with Graham we should note is that they opened up his practice window. He is not on the 53, though. So they have to make a roster move to get him onto the 53. So whether that's Paris Campbell, what the Eagles could always do.
Au revoir.
What the Eagles could always do, if they want Paris Campbell to play, if they want Paris Campbell active, they cut Paris Campbell, sign him to the practice squad, unless the Chiefs preemptively sign him, and then they can just elevate him from the practice squad.
Correct. Okay. Big discussion in the chat. Are you wearing a shirt, a jacket, or a shacket?
It's technically called an overshirt. So what would that?
It sounds like a shacket then.
I think a jacket. Okay. Well, I still wear a jacket over this when I'm. I mean, this is
depending on the weather, though.
Yeah, but I debate whether to button or unbutton. Emily likes it. Emily recommended that I wear the shirt unbuttoned. I was about to say something else, and then I realized, you see, this is 5 years in. I knew, or 6 years into doing a show with you. I'm starting to think before I finish my sentences here. But yeah, it's technically called an overshirt. I appreciate I
think we can put together what that sentence was going to be.
I appreciate the chat. Recognizing my attire. I like to put thought into what I wear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for the Locker Room Report. ValleyForge.org. There we go. We're gonna do a little familiar exercise for the longtime sickos, something we haven't done all year long, and that is a roster draft, a good old-fashioned 2023 roster draft.
Wasn't that a year of shows? that was we were figuring that out. If you go back and watch our shows, we do this show better now than we did a year ago.
Yeah, but not as well as we did it that one time in April when we talked to Brennan Brooks. As far as you're concerned, we've had basically a season's worth of unmemorable shows.
No, we've had memorable shows, but yeah, I mean, it's like. By the way, did you see the Eagles behind the scenes, the Eagles unscripted. When Nick Sirianni says, "Close your eyes, envision your best game." What were you wearing? Was it a night game? Was it a day game? Was it on turf? Was it on grass? Who was the opponent? And so, like, if you said, what was your best show? Okay, I would probably say that Brandon Graham show was really good. I'm sorry, the Brandon Brooks show was really good. I think the first 4-man show we did with Fran and Deniz, I thought was really good.
Now you are willing to say an in-season show.
Yeah,
okay.
that one in particular was really good. The first one was before the Thursday night game, I believe, the Wednesday before the Thursday night game.
Okay.
And then there were a few others that came to mind that I thought.
Okay, so we've done 2 good shows this year. And only one of them since the season started.
No, but I'm talking about
as far as you're concerned. By the way, make sure you hit subscribe and thumbs up and comment on the video. You too can be disappointed in every episode, just like Zach.
All right, I'm not saying that, but anyways, let's roll with the draft.
Okay. The conceit: we both have to fill out our rosters of 26 things. We're going 11 starters on offense, 11 starters on defense. On offense, quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, tight end, needs to be a left tackle, a left guard, a center, a right guard, and a right tackle, and then you get to pick what that other spot is. Most likely a wide receiver. You want to stay in 11, but you could go 12. You could go 21 if you want to get fancy. That's fine. Now, we had a little discussion about a guy like Joe Tooney, who's going to play left tackle for the Chiefs. Is he only eligible at left tackle? I think if you do that, it makes the draft mechanism a little bit more boring because you only get the other position. So you get to have a little bit of flexibility along the offensive line. On defense.
By the way, that I mean, we'll take people behind the scenes here.
Okay.
I did not like that approach because I wanted it to be like how it's going to be during the game. You're putting your lineup together for the game. But and I think sometimes when we do that, it deviates more into like blocking this player and doing that. But I'm fine with it. I still think the conceit of the show will come through.
All right, so we're not going to do the exercise. Zach doesn't want to do it. We're not going to do it.
That's not all what I said. Let's just keep going.
You're right. It's important for you to undermine the exercise. That's good. That's helpful. Then on defense, a normal 11, a nickel. Is it okay with you if we have a nickel corner?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And a head coach, and an offensive coordinator, and a defensive coordinator, and a wild card. I'm sure Zach hates the idea of a wild card. Super chat from Joshua Min, who says, Zach doesn't plug his books enough. 1 is a fluke. 2 is a big flex.
What's 3?
A bacchanal.
Okay. I appreciate that, Josh. Seriously. You've been a long-time supporter, and I'm grateful.
Anywhere books are sold. All right. How do you want to decide who goes first?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, right?
No, we're in person.
In person.
2 out of 3. Ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You've been studying.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right. Boom. Zach takes it.
Okay.
This is going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 after that. So you can decide, would you rather have the first pick or that turn pick, that little 2-3 snake?
Yeah, I'm going to take the first. And look, there are 2 good quarterbacks in this game, but to me, the
3,
biggest.
But
Carson Wentz.
No,
Kenny Pickett. What?
Tanner McKee.
Oh, Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
Okay. But honestly, like Patrick Mahomes is. We talk about how Jalen Hurts wins a lot. No one wins more than Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. I think he's going to go down as the best player in Eagles history. Oh, I'm sorry, in NFL history. To me, if you're looking for the biggest reason for concern in this game, it's that the Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. So my number 1 pick here is Patrick Mahomes. Is that who you would have gone with, or because of the strength of 2 quarterbacks?
No, I think you got to go Patrick Mahomes. This is the one position where I just automatically get Jalen Hurts.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have to draft
Jalen
Hurts. But yeah, I mean, the whole conceit of the framing of this game is the best roster in football against the best quarterback in NFL history, probably. So, yeah, I think that's a reasonable pick. Now, this is interesting. There are several ways to go here, and I am going to go with a little bit of You would call it game theory. I think it's just, respecting the draft. And I'm going to go with my 2 picks here. I'm going to take Jalen Carter and Chris Jones.
Okay. Yeah, that's not game theory.
The 2 best defensive players in the game. But I think the drop-off at defensive tackle is a little bit significant there. And so while there are some very spicy options on offense that you might want to take, I'm going to go Jalen Carter, Chris Jones, the double, and know that I have the best defense now, basically no matter how else this draft goes.
Sure. Well, you know what? Look, if you're doing game theory that way, I'm going to do game theory in a different way here. I wouldn't say it's game theory, but this is a genuine way that I would look at this, and that is, so I'm just going to go wide receiver.
You only get 2 picks. You only get 1.
Oh,
from now on, it's 1 pick.
You're right. I apologize there. Okay. You're right. So I'm going to go with A.J. Brown.
Just so you know, the viewers need to know, Zach did just touch me. He's not allergic to it.
Okay. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown's the best receiver in this game.
I'm surprised that you go A.J. over Saquon.
Yeah, I was certainly considering Saquon there, but I think that you have Patrick Mahomes and A.J. Brown together. That's a really good combination. I think that, A.J. Brown, I think he could be on the verge of a big game here, but I was afraid of kind of being boxed out at wide receiver. I do think there's a drop. Yeah, I think the Eagles wide receivers are better than the Chiefs wide receivers this year in a clear way.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that this group of Chiefs receivers is scarier to you than the 2022?
Good question, because we were going to do one of the exercises we were bandying about is comparing the 2022 teams and 2024 teams. The thing that worries me about this team is the speed. Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown being, when he's healthy, when he looks right, that gives him a speed dimension that they had McCole Hardman, but it's not quite the same.
Kadarius Toney, but yeah.
Yeah, but Xavier Worthy, the big play capability there, that part worries me because I don't view the Eagles corners as like speed guys. They can move well, but obviously they played really well this year. But the Eagles have 2 bigger corners, right? Corners who can take on some of your bigger wide receivers. The speed part of this is something that I think overall those wide receivers were better 2 years ago. Rasheed Rice was playing at a high level. Sky Moore
Rasheed Rice was a rookie last year.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Sky Moore was playing at high level that year.
Yeah.
Sky Moore had the touchdown against them. 24. Tony was, but Sky Moore played well in that game.
You're talking about last year in the game they played in the regular season.
No, I'm talking about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Sky Moore, I remember, was a threat in that game. He caught the touchdown.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't remember, man.
I believe
who knows?
There's been job changes, life changes. A lot's happened since then.
Sky Moore had a 4-yard touchdown.
Yes. Was that his only catch?
Yes.
Okay. So he didn't play that well.
He's a big factor in the game. Yeah.
But he caught a touchdown. Yes. Okay. Caught a touchdown in one touchdown.
I was getting confused that Sky Moore was ever a big factor.
In a 1 touchdown game, Sky Moore caught a touchdown. Yeah. But A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. Okay. I think that's a reasonable pick. Probably the pick I would have made in that spot. But I thought you might go Saquon. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll find out how I return serve just after this. Bet365. Well, you know all about Bet365. Never ordinary. Not once. Not for a second. Not for a moment. Not ever. Never, never, never. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide. They live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. Bet365 pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. They've also got early payout offers where the early payout offer from Bet365 means you're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. And there's a big little hook here to open a new account. Win or lose, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So I do this thing on my ride into work, and really every time I'm in the car now, where I look at the Ace Hardware Home Service lawn signs, and because you need to turn to Ace Hardware Home Services when you have home repairs. And I like to think, do they have a leaky pipe there? Do they have an air conditioning issue or a heater issue? Is there a faucet that they said they would fix last fall and they haven't gotten around to it? Is it their plumbing? Is it their heating? Is it their cooling? Because whatever it is, Ace Hardware Home Services has the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services are bringing helpful home, the helpful you love, from the store now to your front door. And it's not just having the helpful hardware folks. They're also the helpful home service and repair folks. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get you started on your next project.
We're going to have a bonus show tonight at 8:30 with Les Bowen. Les, who's going to be with us in Nolens next week. So a little preview with Les, Zach, and myself tonight at 8:30. Make sure you join us for that bad boy. All right. It is over to me, and I don't want to let you get all that juice, but I got to take the best player. I'm going to take Lane Johnson.
Okay.
I imagine that this means you're going to take Saquon, and that's going to hurt a little bit. But I'm going to take Lane Johnson. I think the best offensive lineman in this game is too important to let fall to you.
Look, Lane Johnson might be the best player in this game. I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day at the pace that he's playing. He's been outstanding this season. He has a temperament that has been contagious behind the scenes in the locker room. So it's one thing Cam Jurgens referenced after the game. I'll say this, probably not enough has been made about it by me, being on the show every day, and that's that Lane's really kind of taken on more of a vocal role behind the scenes here. He's kind of filled the void of Kelce to a certain degree, and I don't think that's by accident.
Yeah, I thought maybe the best, you're always looking through the photo service that we have for the photos after the game. I thought the best photo I saw was of Lane and Stout, and just like the look of pride and love between the two of them, just like they did it again. I thought it was a great photo.
You should send that to Stout. Yeah, he'd appreciate that probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. I haven't had access to the photo services before. So there are times that I've, since before I took this job, so I go through the photos and I'll see a photo and I'll send it to somebody and I'm like, you might like this one.
Okay.
Okay. What a sell that was. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. Okay. On Thursday night, Saquon Barkley, let's say he wins the Offensive Player of the Year a week from tonight at the NFL Honors. And he's there and he's saying, I'm the Offensive Player of the Year, but I was the 7th pick in Zack and Bo's draft last week. I mean, what's up with that? Saquon Barkley has been MVP caliber this year. Saquon Barkley, they're maybe the biggest delta in this game between a roster from 2022 to 2024. Might be going from Miles Sanders to Saquon Barkley.
Kenny Gainwell was the lead back.
Yeah, exactly. So Saquon, that's a big deal here. By the way, you mentioned Kenny Gainwell. I should say the Eagles, they did not practice yesterday. They put out an injury report estimation. Kenny Gainwell still recovering from the concussion, but 2 players who were not on that report, I should tell you, Darius Slay, so no injury to worry about there, and Jalen Hurts recovered from the knee injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'm just thinking about...
So far, I have Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown on my team.
There you go. All right. I'm going to go Jordan Mailata.
Okay.
If you have the advantage with the two best skill position players in this game, but I'm feeling pretty good that I'm going to have a better offensive line. And for a long time, you have believed that offensive lines don't matter. And so we'll see how that pans out.
I've always thought that offensive lines matter. So you know what? I'm worried because of the rule you instituted that you're going to take Joe Thuney and put him at guard, and I don't want that to happen. So there's a part of me that wants to go Joe Thuney here because you need a strong offensive line, and Joe Thuney, who has played guard in the past, moved over to tackle this year, has been really strong. So you know what? I will go Joe Thuney.
Okay, you're gonna put him at left tackle.
Yeah, I'll put him at left tackle because you need a good left tackle.
All right. In that case, I'm going to make sure I don't get totally shut out with the skill position players, and I'm going to take Devontae Smith.
Okay, and that certainly makes sense there.
The three really good explosive players in this game, I will take Devontae.
I mean, Travis is up there, but
I said explosive.
oh, explosive. Okay. So yeah, as I look at this here, I'm going to now there's two really good centers in this game. There's three guards. I want to make sure I get two of them. So I'm going to take Landon Dickerson here.
Okay.
Landon Dickerson, who has made the Pro Bowl the past 3 seasons now. And I mean, he could play center. He's not going to play center in this game, but we'll see. Landon Dickerson needs to be healthy. He would have missed practice yesterday.
Yeah, and this is where I do think that the injury does come into play. We're talking about these players at this time, and I would have taken Trey Smith over Landon Dickerson. So
okay.
I'm going to take Trey Smith here
because of the health.
And I think you could argue that Trey Smith is a better player.
Is better
than Landon Dickerson.
It's not giving up a single sack this season.
So that, Matt, Trey Smith versus Jalen Carter is very interesting insofar as will the Chiefs feel comfortable just letting him block Jalen Carter one-on-one, and then they can double team Milton Williams? That's a really, really interesting chess match from a schematic standpoint. And there's probably nobody in the league who would be more likely to actually handle that assignment than Trey Smith.
You're absolutely right. So I was probably being a little literal here because I can make that argument too that Trey Smith is the better guard. I was thinking left guard, right guard, right? And the Chiefs have a clear weakness at left guard, as we will get to. So I wanted to make sure left guard was entrenched.
Why? I'm confused. Why is left guard more important than right guard?
Well,
because you think you would have to draft Caliendo?
Or I would have to draft a backup, is my point. Where I would have
Not necessarily. If you had drafted Trey Smith,
yes,
and I had drafted Landon Dickerson, you could have put Becton at left guard. That's literally the whole thing that we talked about.
Yeah, so it's just, but I don't know how Mekhi Becton would play at left guard.
Okay,
it's one thing if you put Joe Thuney at left guard where he's played before.
We could put Tyler Steen there. I mean, he just played a game.
You could. Okay, yeah. I'm going with the Pro Bowler, but
okay,
sure. So trying to think here. Two good centers in this game too. Go right guard, you go right tackle. The Chiefs' right tackle situation has been a mess this year. They've gone Jawan Taylor, they've gone Kingsley Suamataia. I have no one yet on my defense.
You don't have a single player on defense.
Don't have a single player on defense right now. And you could go with Ryan Kerrigan's favorite player in this game. That's one way to look at it. Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, but you know what? I'm going to go with a defensive player of the year candidate here. I'm not drafting based on positional value in this game. I'm drafting based on just give me the best players. Okay, the best players. I'm not building a team for a I'm not building my franchise here. I'm not worried about salary cap allocation. What I'm thinking about is give me the best players in this game. To win one Super Bowl, you have one game. Money doesn't matter. Future doesn't matter. What matters is your best roster for this one game. I'm going with Zack Baun, Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Interesting.
So right now I have an MVP candidate. I have an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, I have a past MVP.
That tracks. You're just accumulating awards instead of building a football team.
I mean, if Zack Baun's not good enough to play on your football team, I don't want to be on your football team. So
cool. You're not invited to be on my football team. My team would be terrible.
Okay.
He's invited to be on my team. He just wouldn't have been my pick there.
Okay.
And this may rankle some Eagles fans, but as I think the biggest if you're looking at these rosters, where I believe the biggest delta is the cornerback depth.
Okay.
Right. However, I think Trent McDuffie's the best corner in this game.
Okay.
And so I'm taking Trent McDuffie here. Now, you want to talk about relitigation? Trent McDuffie is as a prospect. I was worried about those tiny little arms, and he's grown into an awesome player. I get a little bit of a nickel versatility here too, if I need it. So yeah, I'm going with the Duff man.
Look.
Trent Fran Duffy is what they call him.
Who is they?
That's me as of 5 seconds ago.
You as of 5 seconds ago. Yeah. Look, you can't argue with the way Trent McDuffie has played in his career. It's part of the reason why L'Jarius Sneed was let go or was allowed to sign elsewhere, is because Trent McDuffie has been outstanding for them. I really, I'm looking at the edge rusher situation here. There's Sweat, there's Nolan Smith. But I want to make sure that my corners are in good shape. I don't want you to lock me out at corner. So this is a little bit of a response, playing defense as opposed to offense, but I should keep playing defense. So I will go Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay. And I don't mind that you went Quinyon there, because actually my next pick would not have been Quinyon. I think that Cooper DeJean has been so important for the Eagles from allowing them to stay in 11 standpoint. And I'm going Cooper DeJean here. I think he allows me to defend everything at once.
Yeah, look, you can't argue with that. So as I look at this here, I can stay away from D tackle. You might take 3 of them, but you already have 2. The edges don't jump off the page to me. I want to go back to the offensive line. There's 2 really good centers in this game, but so I want to make sure that my guards are in a good spot. I think there is a drop off at guard, drop off at Becton. I could move Becton over to tackle if I wanted to, in theory, based on this rule. So because of the versatility, I'm going to go with Mekhi Becton.
Okay. I'm going to make a pick that I forgot we were allowed to make and probably would have made earlier. I'm going to draft Andy Reid as my head coach.
Okay.
And if you're talking about one game, this is like the elite game planner when he has extra time. Sure. Maybe he's not as bad as he used to be when it comes to time management, stuff like that. He's a little bit more willing to go for it on 4th down. So from a putting this offensive game plan together standpoint, I'm happy to have Big Red, and I will let you just get Nick Sirianni. You don't have to use it. You don't have to use a pick for that. I get Nick Sirianni. I'm good with look. Hey Nick, I mean 4 seasons, 4 double-digit win seasons, or I'm sorry, 4 playoff appearances, 3 double-digit win seasons, 2 Super Bowls. And this guy's coming off 2 straight Super Bowl championships. So like you can't list the accolades on this one.
I get it. The winningest coach in NFL in franchise history as well. So I can keep rounding out my offensive line, which is always a good strategy too. And so I'm going to go with, look, he might be the best center in football. Creed Humphrey.
Okay.
I know there's 2 really good centers in this game, but I will go with Creed Humphrey at center.
Okay. I'll take Travis Kelce.
Okay.
I am happy to have another reliable weapon in the passing game. Maybe not a huge difference between him and a healthy Dallas Goedert, but I'm gonna take Travis Kelce. I feel pretty good about that.
Okay. So then and how do you feel Travis Kelce compares to Dallas Goedert? I should ask you that because I mean, Travis Kelce's the better player overall. He is getting older. Goedert is having a hot postseason. What's your read on that?
Well, as I just said, I don't think there's a huge difference between Travis Kelce and a healthy Dallas Goedert. Certainly, Goedert brings more to the table as a blocker. But yeah, I think as a receiver, I would trust Travis. I would rather have Travis Kelce.
Okay. So now I might do a little game theory here, and I can take Cam Jurgens and play him at right guard and move Becton over to right tackle.
Okay,
screw you over. But
you think that screws me over to have Mekhi Becton at right tackle and Jurgens at right guard? First of all, wouldn't you move Creed Humphrey to right guard and play Jurgens at center?
No. Jurgens has started at right guard before. Humphrey's been a career center.
Yeah, but Humphrey's much bigger. I would.
Not everything's about size, Bo. Sometimes it's about skill.
You can lose however you want to lose this game.
It is about skill as well. I mean, the edges are jumping out, but I don't feel like the edge is the strength of either team. I still want to sit on the edge market. You know what? Give me the speed at wide receiver. I'm going to go Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
First round pick. Now I got AJ Brown. I got Xavier
Worthy. First round pick.
Fastest player ever at the combine.
Okay. I'm going to take a second round pick.
Okay.
And I am making sure that the big difference in this game of cornerback depth reflects poorly on you. So I am taking Darius Slay.
Okay.
My corners are Trent McDuffie, Darius Slay, and Cooper DeJean. And you have Quinyon Mitchell, and you're going to have to take the slog of the rest.
Well, first off, Jalen Watson is not a bad corner.
If you say so.
Do you think he is?
I think he's the worst starting corner in the game, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
It's about time for me to go on to the edge market here. I've waited this long. I'll go George Karlaftis. George Karlaftis is the best edge on the Chiefs. I don't know if he's better than the Eagles' edges, but yeah, give me George Karlaftis.
Super chat from Michael, who says, "Oh, and we got this is in euros. That's fantastic." Is he wants to know, Zach, is Gabe Hall more of a 4-technique hole stuffer a la Jordan Davis, or does he prefer gap penetration and grabbing sacks?
Yeah, no, he's more of a versatile player in the mold of like a Milton Williams type. I would say he's not a nose. So yeah, Gabe Hall is he would, when he was coming out, you viewed him as like the 3-4 defensive end type. So probably the Milton Williams comp. Some people viewed him as like a fourth, as like as a 3-gap player. But yeah, I would consider him more of the edge tackle versatile player. Thank you for your contribution, Michael.
I'm gonna. How about we do one more round of picks before our next break?
Yep.
And I feel good about this one now. I'm gonna live in 12 personnel, baby. I am taking Dallas Goedert to pair with Travis Kelce. So I feel very good about that. And despite the fact that you have Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown, I think given my strength up front, I'm going to have a chance to compete with you on offense, and I already know that my defense is far, far superior to yours.
So just to confirm here, you cannot add another skill player, correct? Or you have one wide receiver spot open?
I had a running back spot, but yes.
Oh, yeah. No, but you can add a...
I have a wide receiver spot open.
Oh, you do have a wide receiver spot open.
Yes.
Okay.
If you need a second, I will run down the rosters right now.
Oh, no, I know my rosters. I want to hear yours.
My team is Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Travis Kelce, and Dallas Goedert, and an offensive line so far of Jordan Mailata, Trey Smith, and Lane Johnson, arguably the 3 best defensive or offensive linemen in this game. I would say inarguably. On defense, I have Jalen Carter and Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay, and we're being coached by Andy Reid. That's about as good as it gets. Zach, he's got the quarterback. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got the running back. He's got Saquon Barkley. He's got the wide receiver. He's got A.J. Brown. And a bunch of slop after that. Xavier Worthy, Joe Tooney, Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey, Mekhi Becton, George Karlaftis, Zack Baun, Quinyon Mitchell, and Nick Sirianni.
Yeah. I still feel good about where I am with this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take another edge here. And look, Josh Sweat's been awesome, but I got to go with Nolan Smith, who has 7 sacks in the last 9 games that he's played since Brandon Graham's injury. So between Karlaftis and Smith, I like the way I look.
You guarantee it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll get to the next pick on the other side. If you wanted to buy tickets to this mythical game between the two of us, it would be difficult. We could sell them to you, but those aren't going to be available where most tickets are. Where most tickets are, that's Game Time. The best place, the number one place to go for tickets to your favorite events, whether that's sports, comedy, music, theater, or more. Game Time also has Game Time Picks, where curation makes it easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. There's that all-in pricing we always talk about. Toggling this feature will show the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Seat views, you get to see exactly what it's going to look like when you get to the stadium. The lowest price guarantee, where Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And the Game Time ticket coverage, where your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Download Game Time today. Zach, what time is it?
It's game time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Eagles are hunting down a ring. You can too.
Too can you.
You want to know how you can hunt down a ring? By going 8th and Chestnut in downtown Philly and going to Golden Nugget Jewelers. It is family owned and operated since 1987. If you're getting engaged, they have a wide assortment of rings and wedding bands to fit anyone's style. But it's not just wedding jewelry. You can find watches, diamond necklaces, diamond bracelets, earrings, and more. But I was talking about if you're getting engaged, you can receive a final cleaning and a written appraisal with every engagement ring purpose. That's important. The final cleaning is important, right? You want it to look pristine when your significant other sees it. And the appraisal, that's also very important as well. You deserve an expert and the best price. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Head over to goldennuggetjewelers.com to learn more. Ooh, Smy Guy. I mean, he put this in the chat. Should we put it out there? He's going to be using that this next week. Maybe he's talking about Game Time. Maybe he's talking about Golden Nuggets.
You could be talking about something else in the chat as well.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought he was referring to Golden Nugget Jewelers. In any event, Smy Guy, I appreciate your contributions to the show.
Now, Idiot Sandwich also says, Zach, you've been loading up on the edges. You're really edging right now.
I like the comment up above it, actually. Idiot Sandwich, I appreciate you watching. Bo plays these games like a politician. Kind of sounds right. Just declares his stuff's awesome and ZB's trash over and over until it becomes true. You know what? Actually, that is apt. It's like when something happens and you just say, like, just because I think this is what it is, right? So
no, I'm telling the truth. That's what's happening here. You have the best quarterback, and otherwise you're getting dominated.
You know, people who, it's like, I'm telling the truth. People say that when they're trying to convince you that they're telling the truth.
No. It's very clear. I mean, your Joe Tooney pick was like a Trey Thomas level pick for you. You've been down bad ever since.
My Joe Tooney pick was a Trey Thomas level pick. Joe Tooney, I don't think you realize how good Joe Tooney might be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah, for his high school Hall of Fame.
Bo, just because you say something is not true, it doesn't make it not true. Like, I mean, this is what needs to happen. We need to call Fran, because if Fran says something, you believe it. So if Fran tells me Joe Tooney's good, you'll believe Joe Tooney's good.
I'm not saying Joe Tooney's not good. I just said you took him in a crazy spot. Your Zack Baun pick was bad. Your Karlaftis pick was bad. It's been a tough sledding here for you, aside from getting Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? Just because you say it, right? I mean, I don't want to say what's coming to my mind right now. I'm gonna take the higher road. Go on.
You can't do that. You can't.
I can't do what?
You can't say, I'm not going to say what I'm really thinking right now. You then have to say it.
No. Next. All right. Whose pick? Your pick or mine? I'm thinking how much I enjoy doing this show. Let's go. Next shit. Next pick. I don't know what you're doing here. Are you up or am I?
It's my turn, but I'm not going to go until you say what you're really thinking.
We have 15 minutes. What I'm really thinking is how productive this is right now. So let's just carry on with the show. I'm not doing it because it was a reference that would be applicable here, but it would enrage you, and I don't want to enrage you.
So you think by me accurately calling the strength of these rosters that I'm comparable to a demon person who's blaming the deaths of several people?
I did not say that.
But that's what you're saying by not saying.
No,
that's
what I am saying is that just because you say something is true doesn't make it true. Is my point. So your pick. That's all I am saying.
I will take. I'll take Nick Bolton.
Okay.
Nick Bolton, who I think is maybe not playing at the level of Zack Baun, but is among the next level of best linebackers in football.
Yeah. Okay. He is really good, but you know what? I do think edge rushers matter, and so I am going to take my third edge rusher. Would that be my wild card spot? I guess
you could use that.
There's no flex for defense. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Josh Sweat. And
as your wild card. Okay.
Yeah. My third. I mean, it's similar to you using two. Why is it that the offense gets a flex player, but the defense doesn't get a flex player?
Well, you're choosing whether to play an 11 or 12. I mean, because every defense really plays nickel personnel all the time. If you want to play Josh Sweat along your defensive line and have George Karlaftis line up as a defensive tackle, you could do that.
Yeah, all right.
I'll run the ball down your throat.
I will reserve that. Right, but right now, this isn't even game theory.
So where are you putting Josh Sweat?
At this point, wild card, but I'm allowed to move him as the game goes on.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have the top 3 edge rushers in this game.
Yeah, I could have you on my team now rushing the edge because I have Jalen Carter and Chris Jones. As long as I have an NFL caliber player along the edge, I'm going to be just fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Give me. Does that matter? No, not really. I will take. You're gonna go small. I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna take Milton Williams, and I can play Milton Williams on the edge and feel pretty good about that.
Okay. I mean,
what?
All right.
Wait, what?
Milton Williams is not an edge rusher, but okay. Yeah.
He lines up there sometimes. So does Chris Jones.
So he's gonna be a stand-up. Okay. Or he's all right. Fair. Well done. No problem. That is okay. Then
you just said you're going to play Karlaftis at defensive tackle. Now all of a sudden, me drafting Milton Williams, who does sometimes line up on the edge, and Chris Jones, who occasionally lines up on the edge. That's ridiculous.
By the way, I never said I was going to play Karlaftis at defensive tackle. You said I was going to play Karlaftis at defensive tackle.
You said you reserve the right to play one of your edges at defensive tackle.
So then, based on this, then I'm going to go Cam Jurgens then. Okay, if this is how we're going to do it, I'm going to go Cam Jurgens, and I'll play Cam Jurgens at right guard. And you can play.
Yeah, you think that's a great move. You just made your team worse.
No, because
you got to play Mekhi Becton at right tackle.
I have 2 Pro Bowl centers. You know who's your center for this game?
You don't have a defensive tackle. They don't need to block anybody.
You're going Hunter Norzad. Okay, you're going the Norzad guy. You like Hunter? Liked him coming out of college.
Oh my God,
Penn Stater.
I'm gonna take.
I recall why we didn't. We stopped playing this game.
I guess I will take C.J. Gardner-Johnson. No safeties
Okay.
have been drafted yet. I don't think it's a blowout necessarily. Him over either Justin Reid or Brian Cook or Reid Blankenship, but I'm going to take. I'll take the fire because this has been a fiery draft, and I want a guy who is willing to get thrown out if I need that.
Fair enough. So then the others, I will go with my favorite safety on the Chiefs, and that is someone who, well, sorry, I'm just composing myself here. I'm going with Justin Reid. Justin Reid is someone who I've long liked. Actually, in the 2018, last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the mock draft the next year, I had them taking Justin Reid.
Oh, wow.
Justin Reid was a player that I said the Eagles should pursue in free agency. The Chiefs signed him. He's been a boon there. He's been outstanding. The other thing is he also can boot for you. Justin Reid can be a kicker if something happens.
That could come in very handy in this game because you're going to be punting a lot. So.
And also, I believe Justin Reid is from New Orleans. So, he's playing for his hometown in this game as well. And he has nickel versatility.
Okay. I'm going to take... You haven't done that yet. I mean, I don't, he's not playing that well. But the good thing about a guy with the pedigree of DeAndre Hopkins is that I know that Jalen Hurts will throw the ball to him if he's open.
True.
So I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins.
In the spirit of Julio Jones, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping DeAndre will come.
So even though linebackers are not the most important position, the Chiefs have two really good linebackers, and one of them, Leo Chenal, who's been a good player. So now they have three linebackers, so you can take their third linebacker as your second guy. But I like having Zack Baun and Leo Chenal. The other thing about these two, friends from Wisconsin.
There you go.
Yeah, so you already know they have the chemistry. So we're only practicing for 8 days going into this game.
That's true. That's a big factor.
They have the chemistry with each other.
All right, speaking of chemistry, I'm going to take Reid Blankenship.
Okay.
So I got Reid Blankenship playing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who worked well together.
Sure. Okay. So what positions are even up for grabs here?
Well, you could take a defensive. I could potentially take a defensive tackle as my other edge. I guess my wild card could be used on anything. So
yeah, okay.
But if you want to just sort of fill it out, we could go from there.
Yeah, I guess OC and DC.
You might as well take your pick.
Would be up for grabs here.
It's funny, DC. Like, who cares? You're gonna get a great one.
Yeah, and OC. I mean. Yeah, you know what? I'll go Matt Nagy as my OC here.
Okay, how come?
Matt Nagy has, first off, he's worked with Patrick Mahomes before, so he's got that connection with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
He knows Fangio very well. He knows Spagnuolo very well.
Huge.
So that's a big part of this game. A former head coach, and now he joins Nick Sirianni's coaching staff, going up against the team that brought him into the NFL. So there's some motivation there. I would say Matt Nagy's more of an established OC.
Okay.
And I don't want to choose between Spags and Vic. I'm happy with either one of them.
Yeah. I'll take Drew Tranquil.
Okay.
I guess you couldn't have taken him anyway, but I'll just take him.
So let's see.
You want to just fill it out? Who's your tight? Yeah. What tight end are you taking?
I guess Noah Gray will be the way that I'll go.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been solid as the number 2.
Okay. Now on offense, do you want a second tight end or you want another wide receiver?
No, I'm going to go a player who I've really liked for a long time. That's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown, who I think could be an X factor in this game. Someone who is probably not getting the attention he deserves based on his talent. I thought going into the year, Hollywood Brown was going to have a huge year. Hasn't had, he was injured for most of the year.
Okay. How about your defensive tackles?
Yeah, so I will go with Jordan Davis as one defensive tackle. It gives me that oomph in the middle. And then I will go with, I guess, Mike Pennell.
Okay.
Would that be the way to go there?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of pass rush juice there, but that's okay.
But I got 3 edge rushers.
Great. And now you get to pick 2 corners and a safety.
2 corners and a safety. So my safety is going to be Jaden Hicks, right? He's the way to go here. And then my corners are Jalen Watson. And you could go Joshua Williams or Isaiah Rodgers. You know what? I like Isaiah.
I think you go Isaiah.
I'm going to go Isaiah Rodgers here.
Okay. All right. My running back. Man, those Chiefs running backs kind of stink, huh?
Although Pacheco's...
Would I rather have Gainwell? Is Pacheco coming on enough?
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go Pacheco and hope that he gets his legs back for the Super Bowl. My left guard is going to be Tyler Steen. My center, God, this is, if only they had Dylan McMahon, I would feel so good. Yeah, I mean, am I going your boy Norzad, or am I going Nick Gates?
Brett Toth?
Brett Toth.
Maybe that Cam Jurgens pick wasn't so bad after all.
I'm going to go Hunter Norzad. Yeah,
Okay.
you did it to spite me, but it didn't make your team any better. And then on the outside, my edge, am I going to go Mike Dana or Charles Omenihu? What do you think?
I'm more of a Dana guy myself. Go blue.
Yeah, but I think Dana's he's a bigger body.
What about King Felix?
He plays like 10 snaps a game. Hold on. Why is this not loading? Come on, man.
So do you want me to read my team as...
Well, hold on.
And then
I'll go Dana. That's
and then
fine.
you got to pick your DC.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Spags.
Okay, well, I got Vic. Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. And, your wild card. Do you have like some weird...
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take the wild card in this matchup. I'm going to take a favorable whistle because the Chiefs, of course, always have that favorable whistle. So I'm going to take that with me.
Okay.
So the matchups.
I'm very literal in mine. I have like the player. You have
Zach
favorable whistle.
has Patrick Mahomes.
Woo!
Saquon Barkley. A.J. Brown. What a start. And then he's got Xavier Worthy, some speed. Noah Gray at tight end, and a real mishmash on the offensive line where only one person or 2 people are playing the position that they actually are good at. You've got Joe Tooney, Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey, Cam Jurgens at right guard, Mekhi Becton at right tackle, and Hollywood Brown adding some speed on the outside. They're lining up against a defense that includes Jalen Carter and Chris Jones in the middle. Boy, are they going to run over Cam Jurgens at right guard. They've got Mike Dana and Milton Williams on the outside. At linebacker, Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill, and one of the best secondaries ever assembled. Trent McDuffie, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Reid Blankenship. On the other side, Bo's offense, Jalen Hurts, Isaiah Pacheco, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, and Dallas Goedert, the best Bog offense that's ever been assembled, with a great offensive line of Jordan Mailata, Tyler Steen, Hunter Norzad, Trey Smith, and Lane Johnson.
It's not a great offensive line just because you say it is. But okay.
I have the 3 best offensive linemen in this game on my offensive line.
Yeah. Debatable.
You, on defense, you got Zack Baun. That's great. Other than that, well, we got Quinyon Mitchell. That's good.
There's a little too much editorializing.
You got George Karlaftis.
You should read the roster.
Jordan Davis for those 5 snaps that you need him. Mike Pennell, Nolan Smith, Zack Baun, Leo Chenal, Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers, Justin Reid, Jaden Hicks, Jalen Watson. Now you do have Vic Fangio. And Josh Sweat. Yes, of course you have
the 3 best edge rushers
well,
in the game.
all of whom are so much significantly worse than the 2 best defensive tackles in this game.
That's
and
that's
I
not
also,
the conversation.
keeping in mind, have a better whistle.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew the wild card could be like that, I want the lights to go out when you're on offense. How about that?
But this is a thing in this game. The
yes.
Chiefs come in with a favorable whistle.
The last time the game was
Thank
in
you
New
for
Orleans.
watching on Fast, by the way. We agree. I did blow Zach out in here. However, Patrick Mahomes is the X factor that you can't keep out. So just like in the actual Super Bowl, we have the best roster in football against the best quarterback in football.
You know what? I will let the audience decide what they think, but just because someone says something loud doesn't mean that it's true. I just want to, in podcasting and in life, okay?
Okay. Remember, we've got a show tonight, 8:30, with Les Bowen. We're looking forward to that. And other than that, I guess we're just going to go to practice.
We got one more super chat.
We got another super chat. That's exciting. CDP checking in. Why did the Inquirer report that Josh Harris was interviewed by the FBI in a racketeering case? Shouldn't the press better protect our billionaires?
I didn't see that. It's an interesting story. The press is not here to protect anybody. The press is here to report the news.
Just as I have reported that one of these rosters is significantly better than the other. Chat seems unanimous.
That's not true, actually. I saw someone say ZB killed it. But once again, you could say, you could declare yourself a winner. It doesn't make you the winner.
I mean, it seems pretty heavily weighted that I have won this draft.
You know what? I've heard this tune before, okay?
Zach, you're entitled to your own opinions. You're not entitled to your own facts.
I'm aware of that. That's why I'm leaving the opinion up to the voters.
Make sure that you comment down below the video and let us know. You got one person who says you won. That's good. It's good that you're not all alone on your island. I think that'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Back tonight at 8:30, and then tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We got the professor in studio tomorrow. Talk about, he wants to talk about the Super Bowl game. I think we're actually going to just talk about this matchup. And
I know he's going to take your side.
He can crunch the tape and tell us
he's going to take your side.
what
I know
he
that.
thinks.
But that's not for lighter burden. That's for broader shoulders.
Okay. I don't think that if I had a wish, my number one wish would be for broader shoulders.
It's the play off of the lighter burden.
I understand.
It's like the expression. I think it was the John Kennedy line. As not for easier lives, as for stronger men, or something like that.
Ask not for a lighter burden. Ask for $100 million. Okay.
So the Eagles are practicing this afternoon. We will have all your updates on allphly.com. And well, actually, we'll have it tonight on our show as well. So you can check that out.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you tonight. And as always, for Julia, Zach, I'm Bo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, evangelize, for all that stuff. We appreciate it. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.